Hello friends. So we are continuing with last few questions of labor category of variances, which is the last category. Now before I go on to the questions there, let me talk about small concept here. Very small concept. I've talked to you the table of variances like labor cost variance, labor rate variance, labor efficiency variance. Under efficiency, we talked three variances: labor idle time, labor mix, and labor yield, which is also called sub-efficiency variance. Now, some authors, they don't agree to this classification. They give a different classification. They say idle time variance is an inefficiency which should be considered in middle level and not under efficiency variance. So what they do, they pick it up idle time variance from here and take it here. Means their classification is labor cost, labor rate, labor idle time, labor efficiency. And efficiency is having two parts only, that is labor mix and labor yield. Now question arises, when you are sitting in exam, how do you get to know whether the examiner wants first classification or second classification? Very simple. If the question says compute all labor variances, apply first category only, what you have done till date. Don't think about this at all in that case. If question asks you compute labor rate variance, number 2 labor idle time variance, number 3 labor efficiency variance, nothing else, then it is this. Then it is second category of grouping. Otherwise, in general, always first categorization is better one. Unless question wants these three variances, it means he is wanting these as middle level variances. Then don't start calculating the other categorization that you have done. This is applicable in question D6 and D8. In both questions, this second table will be applicable. That is why I told you this concept in advance. Let us look at D6 now. You can look at the requirements of question in the end. It is wanting first part labor cost, that is top. Second part efficiency. Third, idle time. Whenever efficiency and idle time are asked separately, think about the second type of categorization. He is not wanting rate, okay. Now what steps I will be requiring? I will be requiring L1, L2, L3, L5. These are the steps that I will require. So let us concentrate on these steps. Actual payment made to workers for actual time paid for. Looking at actual payments there. 50 workers skilled, 40 hours per worker, 2000. Semi-skilled, 30 into 40, 1200. Unskilled, these are hours that I am computing. Unskilled 20 workers, 40 per worker makes 800 and total is 4000 multiplied by actual rates. 50, 35 and 10. 1 lakh 35 into 1200, 42,000, 8,000. 1,50,000 is L1. L2. Payment involved if workers were paid at standard rates. If workers were paid at standard rates. This is skilled, semi-skilled, unskilled. 2,000, 1,200, 800. Standard rates 45, 30, 15. 90,000, 36,000, 12,000. 1,38,000. L3. Standard cost of actual hours worked. Question said there is abnormal idle time of 2 hours in the week. So instead of 40 hours, they have worked for 38 hours each. So 50 into 38, 30 into 38, 20 into 38. Skilled, semi-skilled, unskilled. So you can get all hours from there. 50 into 38, 1900 hours multiplied by 45 standard rate, 85,500. 30 into 38, this is 1140 multiplied by 30, 34,200. 20 into 28, 560 into 15, 8,400. If I add them, I am getting 1,28,100. L4 is not required because it does not want the mix variance or sub-efficiency variance. Those require L4. So here L4 I am not computing. L5. Standard labor cost for actual production. Standard labor cost for actual production. Budgeted labor cost divide by budgeted output multiplied by actual output. Very simple. 65 into 40 into 45 plus 20 into 40 into 30, 15 into 40 into 15. This is budgeted cost. Let us compute. 65 into 40 into 45. This is 1,17,000. 20 into 40 into 30. 24,000. 15 into 40 into 15. 9,000. If I see aggregate 1,50,000. So this is 1,50,000. Standard output given there 2,000 units multiplied by 1,800 units. divide by 2000 into 1800, 75 into 1800, 1,35,000. And I need middle level variances of second table. I'll go part by part. First part, labor cost variance, L5 minus L1. This becomes 1,35,000 minus actual cost we computed 1,50,000. This is 15,000 adverse. Second part, he wants labor efficiency variance. Labor efficiency variance. Now you have to look there in my new table. In new table, this is L2 minus L1, L3 minus L2, this is L5 minus L3. Very important. That is the difference in first table and second table. That is what changes the answer due to the change in classification, because it is aggregate of mix and yield only. Idle time is separately reported. So it is L5 minus L3. Very important. That is the reason we computed L3. L5 minus L3. 1,35,000 minus L3, 128,100. 1,35,000 minus 1,28,100. This is 6,900 favorable. 6,900 favorable. Idle time variance, third. Labor idle time variance, L3 minus L2. L3 1,35,000 minus, check out, no, L3 128,100 128,100 minus L2. L2 is 1,38,000. $128,100 minus 1,38,000. This is 9,900 adverse. Idle time variance can never be positive. L3 minus L2 can never be positive. 1,28,100 minus 1,38,000. This is 9,900 adverse. The next question is question D7. This question D7 is having some missing figure type concepts also. You are required to calculate actual rate per hour, which is not given directly. You are given labor rate variance. You are given labor efficiency in percentage. You need to recall the efficiency ratio that you have studied earlier. So you need to work out on few things to get the missing figures in the question. Once you get missing figures, you can compute efficiency variance or whatever question wants you to calculate. Let us put the data given. Actual production. Actual units produced and sold 6,000. Standard rate per hour ₹8. Standard hours required for 6,000 units. It is not given dash. You need to calculate that in second part of the question. We'll do later on. You are given actual hours. Actual hours 17094 hours. In absence of information for idle time, this is hours paid for also, this is hours worked also. Basically it is worked, but it is paid for also in absence of any information. Labor efficiency ratio. It is given 105.3%. You need to recall the formulas we did long back in budget control ratios. What was efficiency ratio? Efficiency ratio was standard hours divided by actual hours into 100 for percentage. So what I can do, 105.3 is equal to standard hours divided by 17094 into 100. So what I can get, standard hours I can get 17094 multiplied by 105.3 divided by 100. So what I am getting is 18,000 hours. It is approximated 17999.982. So approximately 105.3% is given. So accordingly I am getting standard hours, obviously for actual production, 18,000 hours. If I have to note part by part answer, this is answer of second part. And whenever I get second part, standard hours, I can calculate L5. If you can recall standard hour concept. So L5 can be computed by multiplying this with 8 rupees. We'll do that later on. First, let's note more data which is given. You are given labor rate variance. Labor rate variance. This is 68376. Adverse means negative. This is given to me. Now let us focus on what I can calculate from here and there. First I can get L5. Standard labor cost for actual production. This is standard rate per hour multiplied by standard hours produced. Special concept we have done earlier. Rupees 8 per hour multiplied by 18,000 hours. So 18,000 into 8, I am getting 1,44,000. What else can I compute? I can compute L2. L2 or L3, both are equal. Standard cost of actual hours. Worked also, paid also, they were same. Hours were 17094 multiplied by 8 per hour standard rate. 17094 into 8. I get 1,36,752. So what I am getting now is part 3 answer. This is labor efficiency variance, which is equal to L5 minus L2, 1,44,000 minus 136,752. It was bound to be positive. 7248 favorable. Why bound to be positive? Because efficiency ratio was more than 100%. 105.3% means it is 5.3% higher than what you were expecting. So it is going to be positive. So positive variance 7248. Even if you think otherwise, they were expected to work the same units in 18,000 hours and they produced in 17,094 hours. They produced in less hours. So it is bound to be a positive variance which we have computed. Now let us focus on more things here. Little more concepts that you have to follow here. Now I am looking at given labor rate variance. Six 8376 adverse is equal to L2 minus L1. This is 68376 minus is equal to 136752 minus L1. So L1 equal 136752 plus 68376. Must define L1 for sure. L1 is actual cost of actual hours paid for is equal to, how much is this? 136752 plus 68376. This is 2,05,128 rupees. This is not asked there. They are asking actual labor rate per hour. So if I divide this by, this is equal to actual rate multiplied by actual hours paid for. In absence of idle time, paid for and worked are same hours. So 205128 is equal to actual rate per hour multiplied by 17094 hours. This divide by 205128 divided by 17094. This is exact rupees 12 per hour. Actual rate per hour is equal to rupees 12. This is part 1 answer. This rate variance we computed, this efficiency variance that we computed was part 3 answer. Now what else? Question is wanting more. First part we have done, second part we have done, third part we have done. I am on to fourth part. Part 4. He is wanting standard cost per unit. Standard cost per unit. I can write L5 as standard cost per unit multiplied by actual output in units. L5 I computed alternatively in the beginning. 1,44,000. There are many ways of computing, but this is one easy way. Is equal to standard cost per unit multiplied by actual units produced were 6,000. So standard cost per unit equal 1,44,000 divided by 6,000 units. So 1,44,000 divided by 6,000. This is rupees 24 per unit. There are many ways of reaching the same figure. I am doing the easiest way I can explain you. Part 5. Actual cost per unit. Actual labor cost per unit. All is labor cost because this is a question belonging to the labor category. Is equal to L1 divided by actual units. L1, we are already having L1 205128. We computed 205128. Divide by 6,000 units. 205128 divide by 6,000 units. I am getting 34.19 approximately. 34.19 approximately. This is complete question D7. So the last question in the labor category is D8, and I have told you the concept in this already. It is having requirement of computing labor rate variance, cost variance, idle time and efficiency. Once it says idle time and efficiency, this is middle level variances, rate, idle time and efficiency. Efficiency comprises mix and sub efficiency. It is similar to question D6 that you have done earlier. So let us focus on the steps here. L1, actual cost for the payment made to the workers. You can write exact what I have told you earlier, but this is also alternative language correct at the exam level. This is, you are having actual number of workers employed. 50 workers in a week of 40 hours, actual wage rate is 50 per hour. So single category of labor makes it easy, mixed variance will not arise. So this makes the things little easier for you. 50 workers, 40 hours per worker, it means total are 2000 hours and they are paid at the rate of 50 per hour. This makes 1 lakh rupees. L2, standard cost for actual payment to workers. So what I am going to do? I am going to change only the rate. Standard wage rate is given 45 per hour. 2000 multiplied by 45 per hour. Rupees 90,000. So it is very simple calculation. It is based on standard rate per hour. L3, standard cost of actual hours worked. He says abnormal loss due to machinery breakdown was 100 hours. Certainly it is total 100 hours, cannot be per worker 100 hours when there are 40 hours per worker they are expecting. So 100 hours are not worked. So they have worked 1900 hours multiplied by 45 per hour. 1900 into 45, it makes 85,500. 85,500. L4 I don't need, otherwise also not applicable because mix is not applicable in the question. L5, standard labor cost for actual production. Standard labor cost for actual production. Now I need to find the actual production and standard cost per unit. So if I look there, you are given actual production. (1800) units. I need to find budgeted cost divided by busted units. Budgeted cost is, they were planning 65 workers multiplied by 40 hours per worker multiplied by 45 per hour was standard rate. At this cost, they would have produced 2000 units. This is standard cost per unit. So 65 into 40 into 45, 1,17,000 divide by 2000. So per unit 58.50 multiplied by 1800 units. 58.50 multiplied by 1800 units. I am getting is 1,05,300 as L5. Now check out whatever question wants in the sequence I will compute. This is part 1 answers. Part 1A, labor cost variance. This is L5 minus L1, 1,05,300 minus L1 we computed long back, 1 lakh rupees. This is cost variance 5,300 favorable. B part, labor rate variance. Rate variance is L2 minus L1. L2 also we computed earlier, 90,000 minus 1 lakh. Rupees 10,000 adverse. C point, labor idle time variance, L3 minus L2. 85,500 is L3 minus 90,000 L2. 4,500 adverse. D point, labor efficiency variance. Now be smart. Don't work out on the first table. L5 minus L2 is not correct. L5 minus L3 is equal to, this is called efficiency variance other than idle time variance. So technically that is a correct word that we can use. Other than idle time variance is this L5 minus L3. This is 1,05,300 minus 85,500. 1,05,300 minus 85,500. This is 19,800 favorable. In second part, he says reconcile. How should I show the reconciliation? It is like showing the table. I am going to show labor cost variance is equal to labor rate variance plus labor idle time variance plus labor efficiency variance. Now cost variance, we are showing bottom level reconciliation if mix and sub efficiency were computable. Here we are showing middle level of second category that we have learned today. So this is cost variance. We computed A part, 5,300 favorable is equal to rate 10,000 adverse, 4,500 adverse, 19,800 favorable. 5,300 positive minus 10,000 minus 4,500 plus 19,800. Minus 5,300 is equal to minus 5,300. Left hand side is equal to right hand side. Hence reconciled. This much you do in the exam, that is sufficient for your workout in this reconciliation. I hope this much is clear to you. This was complete labor category. I am reaching the miscellaneous category. What new you will get in miscellaneous category, in E category questions? You will get some sort of here and there link with other chapters. Some part will be on budgetary control, some part will be on labor costing, something like that. In addition to that, there will be reconciliations that you will study. The detailed reconciliations are not exactly in your syllabus, but I'll still teach you all the three categories of reconciliation. I'm just going to give you a small chart today, which you must remember. Wherever reconciliation come, we will talk about that in detail. I'm writing there, just write along with me. Concept of reconciliations in standard costing. Now at CA final level, it has been very, very important since long period. There are reverse reconciliation questions very famous at a finance level. You are given a reconciliation, you are asked to compute the basic data. Actuals given, compute standards. Standards given, compute actual. At your level, that is not expected. They might sometimes ask you to create a reconciliation. Now, reconciliation is of three types. Sales reconciliation, cost reconciliation, profits reconciliation. I am writing some features. You must remember these features. It will make the things very easy for you. Number one, start from. This is all recommendatory. There can be reverse things that you can do, but I am teaching you one way. Just to follow it, you will never make it wrong. Start from budgeted, actuals, budgeted. When I make cost reconciliation, I will like to start from actual. Means total of M1, L1, VO1, FO1. They are all actuals. Start from total of these. Sale reconciliation, start from busted sale. Profit reconciliation, start from busted profit. Number two, adjust, add positive, less adverse. Same here, add positive, less adverse. Same here, add positive, positive means favorable, less adverse. Third thing is most important. Which variances should I adjust? Variances to adjust. Only sale value category. Prefer bottom level, or if not possible, then middle level or top level. There should not be any duplicacy. Means if you have put total sale value variance, then don't put price and volume. If you put price and volume, don't put mix and efficiency. Quantity, sorry. Bottom level. Which variances are bottom level? Price is middle also, bottom also. Price, mix, quantity, they are bottom level. Try them. If not possible, then price and volume. If details are not there, then total. Only sale category will come, sale value category will come. Not even sale margin. In cost category, all cost categories, material, labor, variable overhead, fixed overhead. Same here. Try bottom level, or if not possible, then middle level or top level. No duplicacies. In profit reconciliation, which categories will come? Sale margin and cost categories. All cost categories. What affects my sale value? Sale value variances. What affects my cost? Cost categories. What affects my profit? Sale margin and cost categories. Again, same here. Try bottom level. Not possible, middle level. Not possible, then top level. You can write in all, avoid duplicacies. Avoid duplicacies. Avoid duplicacies. Now what I am making here, I am making a format in all categories, but rectification will not help. If you can recall first 3 points, reconciliation can be easily made. So if I have to make sale reconciliation, what I do, I start with budgeted sales. What is budgeted sale? SV4. Add favorable, less adverse. Which category? Sale value price variance, sale value mix variance, sale value quantity variance. Which categories I am putting? Only sale value categories. I will love to put these three. If they are not separately known, instead of that I can put the sale volume variance, sale value volume variance. If even price is not separately known, I can put the total sale value variance. I am making bottom level in this what formats I am giving you. What I will get there? Actual sales. The result is SV1. This is what I can check. This is complete reconciliation. In case of cost, I have to start from actual total cost. What is this? M1 plus L1 plus VO1 plus FO1. Actual total cost. Again, add favorable, less adverse. What variances? Now be with me. I'll put all the variances of cost category. MPV, usage will not come because that is middle level. I am putting bottom level. Remember, price variance is middle also, bottom also. Never forget price category. Bottom level is mix, yield, labor rate, labor idle time, labor mix, labor yield. I am putting in sequence. You should be remembering the table by now. Variable overhead expenditure variable overhead efficiency, fixed overhead expenditure, calendar, capacity, efficiency. Add favorable, less unfavorable. Having adjusted all of them, the result will be what? What will be result? That is very interesting. Result will be standard total cost for actual production. Result will not be busted cost, result will be standard cost for actual production. How do you compute it? M4 plus L5 plus VO3 plus FO5. From first step you start and last step is what you get. You can verify from your computed steps. This is called cost variance, cost reconciliation. Last, profit reconciliation. Start with budgeted profit. What is budgeted profit? Budgeted profit is SM4. That is budgeted profit. Add favorable, less adverse. Sale margin price variance, sale margin mix variance, sale margin yield variance. And remember always sale margin price variance equals sale value price variance. So can be interchangeably used. Rest of all variances I can copy from cost category. Same are coming here also. MPV, MMV, MYV, LRV, LITV, LMV, LYV. Variable overhead expenditure variance, variable overhead efficiency variance, fixed overhead expenditure variance, fixed overhead calendar variance, fixed overhead capacity variance, fixed overhead efficiency variance. What I will get here, again very, very interesting. What I get here is called what? Actual profit. Do you get actual profit in any step? Many people will think it is SM1. No, it is not SM1. SM1 is actual margin in which standard cost has been deducted. I am saying actual profit. Actual profit can be verified from SV1 minus M1, L1, VO1, FO1. When actual sale minus actual cost gives you actual profit. So SV1 minus all actual cost gives you actual profit. From there it can be actual P&L account basically. Whatever profit you are getting there, from there it can be checked. So these are three different categories of reconciliations. Question is, are they important from exam angle? No, but you should know them if the question will come of any of reconciliation will be of bigger marks. There will be some question of this in our E category of questions. In miscellaneous category, there will be one odd question which will want you to make a reconciliation. There will be using all these concepts. So this is very important for you to remember. By the next class, you should be able to recall. And you don't need to have rectification of all this, whatever example I made. Point 1, 2, 3 should be known. And what is the result should be known. The result of sale reconciliation is actual sale. For cost reconciliation, standard total cost for actual production. And for sale reconciliation, actual profit, which is not a step which is to be computed separately. That is a complete concept which will be doing in miscellaneous some odd question there.